it's been a week for farewelling categories here at SuperCars NZ, and we farewelled Gen 2 Supercars on Tuesday in a very emotional night, and plenty of people have been out racing the Gen 2 cars, sorry, the Gen 3 cars already in the last 36 hours or so. And tonight we turn our attentions to the HPR Series, GTPs and GT3s, and we're saying farewell to this category as well. Not only saying farewell to HPR, but I think more significantly, we're saying farewell to the GT3 cars, which have been a mainstay at Supercars NZ for I think probably close to 3 years. Corey Kitchen can probably give a bit more information on that one. It was his baby to get the GT3s at Supercars NZ up and running on Thursday nights.
Yeah, g'day. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, saying goodbye to more race cars so that more race cars can come and spread their wings. But yeah, GT3 won't be gone forever. It's just taking a break. They're having the summer off.
Yeah, that's right. We're bringing in the GTEs next season, and that's going to be an opportunity for us to assess how that goes. And we do expect there'll be an appetite for the GT3s to come back at some point in some form, whether that looks like a multi-class format with GTPs and GTEs. Clearly the multi-class GTP racing hasn't worked out so well that we've got here, or it has faded in popularity this season anyway. And that's the catalyst behind the change, and we've decided Summer Series, give GTEs a go, but we have one final race for this format, and we're at Daytona. This is what we've got in store for us tonight. So it is the finale of the... Hang on, I've got some very wrong information up there. Let's fix that. It's the final of the MRP HPR Series. There we go. And it is round 9 in what's been a reduced season for HPR, sorry, and a lengthened series for everything else. We ran 4 weeks of a slightly different championship at the start of the season, while a lot of our guys were off doing the Hyperfiber League, and we've arrived here at round 9 as our finale, and very excited to see how it pans out.
Yeah, it's always good to make a change and give something else a go. And that was sort of the argument when I wanted to get GT3 on board, because there was a taste for it, and obviously a few practice races and fun races over the last few months with GTEs, and always had a fairly good field, and it was fairly close racing and a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll be in for plenty of fun tonight. Daytona International Speedway on the road course, 5.69 kilometres here, 24 degrees ambient temperature, pretty pleasant for Florida at any time of year, and 44% humidity, cloudy conditions out there at the moment with a 17-kilometre breeze. And we do have qualifying going on at the moment, and we can see there the GTP cars are currently out on track. Nico Cordia currently holding pole position in that. Just half a second
We
over Dylan Petch.
messaged their 2025 to be announced. So maybe something to you might find over at the Slide Science Facebook page. Where's Nico heading? What's he doing?
Yeah, Nico on the move. All the details on that will be revealed in due course. So I believe he's running a placeholder livery at the moment until he joins his new team. His time at his previous team has finished, and we will see all the details very soon on where he's going to end up. Checkered flag is out on qualifying. Looks like Nico, I think he got around to start another lap, but he's aborted that one pretty quickly. Down to Griff out there looking to see if he can finish this one off. Currently sitting P3. He is 0.35 behind Dylan, so less than a tenth of a second covering the top three at the moment. So that's very tight and looks very promising for some good racing tonight.
It does. Yeah, no, that always good to see a few more of the GTPs on the field as well.
Yeah, we've been used to seeing sort of 3 or 4 of them most races this season. We've expanded that to 6 for tonight, with a few guys deciding that for the final time around they're going to get out there and give them a go and see them out. We've also got a new feature on the GTPs which you will hear when somebody makes a pit stop, and hopefully we'll catch Jack Hintz's pit stop, because he's the only guy in the Cadillac, and um, that is certainly the best sounding of the cars with that new feature.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet, but yeah, I've seen the video on that iRacing put up, but looking forward to seeing Shane's work tonight. We're going to get a good video shot of it live on the air. No
Yeah,
pressure.
so I'll be eagle-eyed waiting to see Jack Hintz come to the pits. So we've wrapped up qualifying. Nico Cordia takes pole position for GTP. Dylan Peach is going to be alongside him on the front row. Then Dion de Graaf, Quinn Wilson, Jack Hintz, and then Paul Blomqvist rounds out the GTP grid. Interestingly, Paul not putting a time in, so we'll see if he's got the pace to move forward through the race. And then Darren Lobb has previously taken pole position in GT3. That session wrapped up just before we went live as we move to the warm-up. So we'll run through the grid later on as we're getting the cars set on the dummy grid. We can once again talk about our awesome series sponsor for HPR. That is MRP, and we can have another look at something we've seen a few times through this season but never gets old, the MRP Turnkey Simulator. So that's MRP's Turnkey Simulator. So if you're interested in getting into sim racing and you don't want to go through the hassle of picking through each individual item that you're going to need, that's something that you can buy as a whole package and get sorted one transaction.
Yeah, it's pretty cool seeing what technology there is out there these days, and the product that Barry and the team at MRP are putting out. That's very easy accessible now, and yeah, the MRP, is it mrp.co.nz?
I believe so. But yeah, MRP, very committed sponsors of ours, and continuing, or well, actually, we haven't quite confirmed that they're continuing their sponsorship through to next season. I think Barry's out of the country currently, but I think what we're going to do is, if we don't get an answer before the start of the season, Sean said we'll run with that, and if he doesn't want to continue, then we'll just make the change through the season. And it's mrpsimracing.co.nz. That's where you want to go if you're interested in getting some sim equipment from MRP. Of course, they do have their um, race products side of the business as well. That's their original business, and I'm assuming, yeah, so that one is mrplimited.co.nz, so mrpltd.co.nz if you're interested in the products that they've got to offer outside of sim racing.
Yeah, lots of quality Toyota part for 4Hers mainly. Good man. He's into Toyotas. He's got to be a solid character.
So we're in the warm-up. Chris Daluski out there doing some laps. Nobody got a time on the board in the warm-up as yet.
Yeah, had a donation come through for the soapbox from Chris, so he's going to be having a racecrafts car take on Mount Washington next Wednesday, Shano.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting wee challenge. So soapbox, Gen 3 soapbox that you're putting on next Wednesday for the new Gen 3 cars, and I've had a wee go of that in the practice server that you put up, coasting down the hill with the clutch in, and it's a challenge, but I made it.
Yeah, I haven't had any luck trying it out, but I'm sure it's going to be a bit of fun, and it's all going to a good cause, of course. $5 donation, and only not many people have just given a $5 donation either. So it doesn't matter, you know, like $5, it's a minimum for the Cancer Society. Come have a punt. Might take you less than 10 minutes to get down the hill, and then you can carry on and go and do whatever else you've got to do. So it shouldn't hold you up all night. It'll hold us up all night, but we're going to be hopefully having a lot of fun watching some people fail at going down the hill, hopefully. But it's for you. It's all for the cause, and a bit of fun to finish off the year. It's been pretty hectic for a lot of people.
Yeah, it has been as we wrap up the warm up, and I can tell you, Doug has just put our current point standings through to us in the broadcasting lounge, and Jack Hintz leads GTP by 24 points over Stefan McCartan, but Stefan a no-show tonight, so that is going to wrap it up for Jack. And then in GTP we've got Darren Lobb 555, also a no-show Darren tonight, and Leith
Oh, Darren's
Swinney.
here.
Has he turned up, has he?
Darren, he's on pole for GT3.
Oh yes, yes, sorry, apologies for that. Yep, he's here, so he's in the box seat to wrap that up, but Leith Swinney not too far behind on 547, so that will be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Yeah,
In
Blake
the
Greenhill
meantime,
there looking all right there on third, isn't he? And we're gridding, are we? I'm still busy looking at these points. We can talk about them a little bit more later.
yep, we're gridding, so Nico Cordia takes pole over Dylan Petch. Down to Graf sitting there in third from Quinn Wilson, and then Jack Hintz rounding out the GTP field, and Paul Blomqvist isn't showing there, which is interesting.
He is in 15th on the grid, so he has decided to not qualify. He's been let past a few GT3s here now, so we'll see what happens. He might go past a few more yet.
Yeah, it should have automatically separated them, but apparently it hasn't. Anyway, sorry, I've jumped too far ahead there. So Dan Turner there from Tom McCall, Nico Scholes, Aaron Goodrick, Leith Swinney, David Yeo, Wayne Hartnell, Paul Blomqvist lining up there in 16th. And then we roll down to the back, Steve Darren, Stefan Adams and Brendan Brownie off the back. So we're getting ready to go. We're behind the pace car. Sorry, pace truck. And it's going to be Nico Cordia that will take control once the pace truck pulls off. And that is going to be very soon. There he goes. And the GTPs making their way to the line. You can see the GT3s in the background with that gap, and they are underway. There's the green flag heading off down towards turn 1 there. And it's going to be Dylan Petch on the outside. He's currently got the lead over Nico Cordia, but Nico was still there on the inside. And coming down through to... Oh, there's a crash into the barriers. That looks like it was Dion de Graaf there. Car 20 it was. So Dion hard into the wall as the GT3 field comes through
Oh,
behind.
and Harry Goodrick has gone for a punt into
Oh,
the same place. It's something to have a look back at, but yeah, I was about to say the GT3's
oh.
got quite well.
Nico's run wide, and that's opened the door for Quinn Wilson, and Paul Blomqvist already up to P2 there. And the GT3 guys have almost closed the gap to the tail of the GTP, so it's been a chaotic start and things spreading out in GTP, but Quinn Wilson out in front from Paul Blomqvist, Nico Cordia, and then Jack Pins and Dylan Petch coming through. Dion de Graaf looks like he's dropped behind all the GT3 cars.
Yeah, he may have towed back to the pits, maybe.
Looks like he's still on track, from what I'm seeing anyway. But Quinn Wilson rounds out lap 1 in the lead. Paul Blomqvist not far behind. So that's an impressive start from Paul after not putting a qualifying time in and starting at the back of the GTP field to already be up to P2. Yes, it wasn't a massive field, but it's still very impressive to make that much ground on the first lap, and he looks like he's keen to find his way by Quinn Wilson on lap 2.
Oh, look at that. Always a good sunset here at Daytona, down the south in Florida.
Yeah, we're in the tropics, right next to Daytona International Airport, and yeah, beautiful sunsets.
Oh, it's a whole lot of Chris Zalewski's front bumper in that rear camera.
So Paul getting the draft off Quinn Wilson through the banking on this lap. Does he think about a move into the bus? Sorry, he's out onto the tri-oval already. I had lost track of where they were on track. Not making the move just yet into turn 1. Still going to sit behind. I wonder if he's just sitting there to try and save a little bit of fuel. It looks like he's getting the runs and getting enough draft where he can think about making a move, but he's just not quite going for it at the moment. So there might be a bit of a strategic play going on there at the moment. David Yeo and Wayne Hartnell getting very close together on track. Is that that's a jigsaw livery that David Yeo's got on?
Yes, it is. Yep. The bulldozer has joined the jigsaw team.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's not home a lot. He spends a lot of time, I think, in Papua New Guinea. Right. When he's near his sim, he gets on and has a blast. Good fella. He's been around since the inception of SuperCars NZ too, I believe. Fairly early on.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. I first came across him in a different league. The league that I ran in before I came to SuperCars NZ, and found something much better here, and I've never left. You can't get rid of me now.
Part of the furniture, they call it.
Absolutely.
You get a good shot there of the sort of sun strike you get coming out onto the oval.
Yeah, certainly as that sun gets lower in the sky, it has an effect. A lot of that can depend on your settings as well. If you onto it enough to turn down your gamma, then you can negate some of that. But of course, if you're running in past the sunset, then once it gets properly dark, all of a sudden you're really struggling to see if you've turned down your gamma. So there's a bit of a trade-off to be had there as well, but certainly things that can be done about it, I guess. I guess it's similar to if you're running in these conditions in a real race car, you might want to run a tinted visor to help deal with that. But if you're running into the night, then all of a sudden you're not going to want that tinted visor.
No. I just need to fix my audio, Shane. Hang on.
Not too many super close battles on track at the moment. This is one of the closer ones. Tom McCall putting some pressure on Les Swinney, hovering sort of around that half a second margin at the moment, although Wayne and David continuing to run very close on track. In fact, David has just put a pass on Wayne, and Wayne trying to see if he can get him back. Getting into that draft on the oval section of the track. He's closing in.
Oh, that's a lot better.
Oh. David's going to cover the inside. There's a bit of a rub. Oh, they're bumping down the straight. Oh, Wayne's gone into the tyres. Looks like Aaron Goodrick's had a moment out there as well. He's towed to the pits.
Yeah, that was that first incident, I think. He looks to have possibly left the building, along with Dion de Graaf as well.
Yeah, that's a shame. So a couple of cars we've lost already. So we can see... Sorry, actually. We can see the pass that David put on Wayne initially. So he got the draft through that section of the oval, gets alongside at the tri-oval, and able to get the job done into turn one there. And then later in the lap we saw things swapping back the other way with Wayne getting the draft, and they coming down the back straight there. David was trying to cover the inside, Wayne sort of forced it in there. There was a bit of bumping going on, and yeah, Wayne ended up going around and into the tyres.
Yeah, both cars in the lane. And Lee Swinney, so he's second in the GT3 Championship, and it looks like Darren Lobb hasn't started the race, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh yeah, so that will drop him in championship order potentially. We do have Leith on track currently sitting P10, and the margin is only about 8 points. So I'd imagine, well, Leith's P10 overall, he's 5th in GT3. I'd imagine that's going to be more than enough points to overhaul Darren with a big fat 0 next to his name for tonight.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Maybe, yes, something come up, had to take off. But yeah, he set pole position and yeah, didn't come out. Oh, so we see Sean McNamara there in the background, just coming back onto the track. And a bit of a whoopsie.
And we can have a look at what happened there. So in front of Nico Scholes there, into the horseshoe, just locking the rears on that Ferrari and having to wait for a few cars to go past, and then rejoins Did a much better job of the rejoin than he did of the redress on Tuesday night.
Well, that was a fair bit of excitement Tuesday night, Shano, saying goodbye to Gentoo in style.
Yeah, that was a fantastic night's racing, and after having a taste of the Gen 3 car, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to getting out in that on track in the new season. Especially once we get some specially crafted setups coming through, that'll be a lot of fun, I reckon. It's a lot of fun on the baseline setup, so I can't wait to see how it drives with some improved setups there. As Nico Cordia has made his way back through to the front in GTP. I missed how that happened, but we've got an epic three-way battle for the lead going on, and Paul running wide. I saw a screenshot of that online actually, and it looks as though you can run that line without picking up an off track. So Paul aware of that and using it to his advantage. There's contact between Quinn and Nico. They kind of got away with that. Quinn's going to drop a couple of positions, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Paul looked like he was going to get through that, but he's lost a couple of positions as well.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. He's managed to get by Quinn there, but Dylan really taking advantage and moving up to P2 in the baked bean car there.
Is that what's on it, Big Pete?
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, you could be right. Oh, it does. It looks very beany. So that's the first time around. The leader of the GT3s is Nico Skulls at the moment. Nico, sorry. So 8 laps.
Yeah, 8 laps in. Got a 50-minute race tonight, so as Nico Cordia looked like he was in the pits on my timing, but it might have just been his position on track that it didn't quite pick up his positioning right. So no compulsory pit stops for the guys tonight, but they are limited on fuel, so we're expecting that they're going to need to come in at some point during the race and top up their fuel.
Yeah, the old splash and dash. And so this is our last race for HPR tonight, Shano. The series will be wrapping up, but it's the last series we've got running currently. So that'll be us all wrapped up for the season. And what a pleasure it's been to work alongside you and Doug and sometimes Wayno and when his computer's playing ball. But yeah, no, I really appreciate it. It's sometimes the highlight of my week, depending on how good the racing is.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine, mate. And yeah, absolutely echo those thoughts. It's always something to look forward to. I always find it helps the week go a lot quicker when you break it down into, okay, it's Tuesday, we're racing V8s. Okay, I'll have a night out of the sim on Wednesday. Alright, Thursday we're racing GTPs, and then all of a sudden it's Friday.
Yeah, and you can at least have a beer, the Piston Cup next season coming back too, which is pretty awesome. Look for some more details on that. I think might mirror the officials maybe a week early, so you get a taste of the next week's track or something. You never know. I could be just making stuff up.
Yeah, so I think something along those lines was how they were going to run it. So that'll be, that'll be a good way to do things. I think what maybe saw the interest drop in Piston Cup a little bit was that the track selection did get a little bit repetitive there for a little bit. So that probably had an impact there. So I think just following what the officials are doing will be a good run at that, and it will be a chance for the guys to get out there in the 2014 cars, which a lot of people love driving those cars, and yeah, they'll be able to get a taste of the track and then see how they can translate that to Gen 3 when it comes to Tuesday night.
Oh, I'm looking forward to Christmas Eve, Shane, with the first round of the Gen 3s. So interesting to see how many people we get turn up that night, who's with their family, who's told the family they're busy because the new car's having its first outing. But looking forward to that.
Apparently people are asking for a safety car, Corey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What sort of people?
Well, I've had a message from Steve. He's just said boys are asking for a safety car.
Excuse my slowness here. I'm because I've got my UI shrunken right down. I'm going to have to get closer to my screen.
The yellow flag is out.
Just like that, the safety car truck. Oh, Daryl in the safety truck, he'll be out there.
He will, and he's going to be looking to pick up Dylan Petch, who is currently our leader. I only caught the end of Dylan passing Nico as well, and I want to go back and have a look at that while they're grouping up behind the safety car. Actually, we'll have a look at that soon. No, pits are going to be closed anyway, so we will have a look at that now.
The car's in the lane. Were they in there before I pressed the safety car?
Quinn's had an accident, so he's towed. Well, sorry, not necessarily towed, but needed repairs. So we have got the Quinn Lawson crashed. So
Sean McNamara has come into the lane.
that wasn't too much of a major from Quinn there, but there's a couple of data points on it. So maybe he's had a follow up here where he has ended up with some damage. Yeah, actually, I can see that Quinn did tow to the pits. I've got that on my screen, so we're probably going to see. I'll tell you what. Let's just go. Okay, so this is the following lap. Same corner, much bigger moment, and he does slam into the tyres and blow his engine and very quickly tow to the pits. So that's why he's there. I'm seeing a couple of off tracks there from Sean as well, so I think that's potentially he was in there for a similar. Actually, it looks like he might have been. No, he was in just after the yellow. So yeah, maybe had some damage. I'm not sure, but anyway. Potentially pits are going to be open this time around.
But that yellow flag was thrown, Shano, and it says that in our little thing where it says yellow flag. And then a little bit further down, it's got Sean McNamara enters pit lane.
Yep, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, is that allowed?
Well, if he's driven in there, he'll take a penalty for it, but it'll be an end of line, so it won't be the end of the world. It'll put him to the back of the pack, but yeah, not the end of the world. Potentially he had some damage and needed to get in. I'm not sure.
Well, he's just one of those guys that says, no pitting under yellow. Just didn't want to call him out. You might have to have a word to him. Of course, not racing next season, Sean. He's going to be race control.
Yeah, he is.
We're going to do up a little Fiat. It's the safety car.
So we do have a few cars coming to pit lane. Jack Hints isn't one of them, so we're not going to get to hear the Cadillac bump start on this occasion, but I think the act here is not too bad. So we've got Paul Blomqvist in. So you can hear his engine's been switched off. Still sitting in pit lane, getting those tyres down. So that's what the bump start sounds like. Hopefully we'll see this guy do it a little bit later when he makes his pit stop, because that Cadillac sounds amazing when that internal combustion engine kicks in.
Lots of people disappearing. But lights out on the safety car, Shane. Truck. Daryl's going to pull in this time round, is he?
He sure is.
Downtown Daryl.
Downtown Daryl. Downtown Daytona Daryl.
Yeah. He's from Daytona. He's Florida man.
So Dylan Petch and Jack Hint staying out, and what it's done is with Paul and Nico pitting, it's put a few GT3 cars between themselves and Dylan and Jack. So that's going to be interesting. I did see a GT3 car going past. I think Steve or somebody else in the server might have actioned some wave buys there for us.
Well, it's going to be a half-time sprint home, so roughly just over half of the time left. Bit of a sprint home. Everybody, well, apart from the first two, haven't been in the lane, but they're going to have to get some fuel. And maybe that's a bit of a mistake by them not coming in the lane when the other guys did.
Yeah, well, being this close to halfway, I would think you'd be in the window to get home from here. So yeah, quite surprised that Dylan and Jack have chosen to stay out, but I guess they've got their master plan. Like I say, it has put a bit of traffic between themselves and Paul there in third, but shouldn't really take too long for Paul and Nico to clear that traffic.
Now a couple of turns, you would think.
But Dylan's going to have control of the field as the pace car coming up to, or pace truck coming up to pit entry now, and peels off back into the pits. So Dylan's in control. They'll get a green flag in a moment, and Dylan is away. Jack Hint's going with him, and they're obviously putting a gap on Nico Scholes in the GT3 car there. And straight away, Paul and Nico coming through by turn one, but Paul runs a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Nico to get through. Oh, he's caught the curb! And I think that's very similar to what happened to Dion de Graaf on lap one there. And yeah, that curb just unsettled the car as he was trying to make sure he gave plenty of space to pull, and it just threw him hard left into the Armco barrier there.
Yeah, definitely that was unfortunate.
Oh, Dylan's had a big moment. Massive damage. The right rear is off the car. He's trying to drive it back. He can't be getting much traction with only one rear axle connected. I'm not sure he knows quite how bad the damage is, but oh yeah, he's tried to turn left and it's gone around on him, and I think that's probably going to be his cue to tow back to the pit lane. There he goes. So that is a big couple of moments on the restart there, and it leaves Jack Hintz out in front. Paul Blomqvist not too far behind though, and Nico Cordia still running, but sporting damage on that Porsche GTP.
Yeah, may have to come down the lane and get one of them fast repairs. There, that happened one after each other, and Dylan into the pit, straight to the pits after his. So obviously sported a little bit more damage than Nico.
Yeah, so
It's
Nico
coming in the line.
does come to the pits, so he's going to get a fast repair. We can have a look at those incidents there. So this was Nico. Oh, this was a second incident actually, locking the rear brakes there. Don't actually have data on his first one, unfortunately, but we did see that one live. And then this was Dylan Petch. No, sorry, that's okay. This was the first incident for Dylan. So comes through the kink. Just loses the rear mid corner, and as soon as he got to the grass, it just kept sliding downhill on the grass there as well. So it just pulls you back towards the tyres, and yeah, drives back onto the track. I think not quite realising that the right rear wasn't actually attached to anything but the tethers at that point.
Yeah, she's not a very nice car to handle by the looks of that.
So Paul's closed onto the back of Jack now, so he is looking to make a move for the lead. And closing in under draft, he's going to go to the outside at turn 1. Can he sweep all the way around there? He can, gets it done. Of course, Daytona will more than likely be featuring pretty early on in the new year in the iRacing special events calendar. The Daytona 24-hour won't be too far away, normally at the start of February or end of January, I believe.
Yep, that's about right. Yeah, that's glad this place holds close to my heart. I've had both ends of the spectrum here. I've had an absolutely mare and ruined it for the team, and we also got ourselves a second here in 2021. That was my last official race that I did.
That's very nice. I've only had the absolute mares here, unfortunately.
I had it 2 hours. That was all I had to do for the team the first time I did it, and absolutely wrecked it for the team. We got the car in first, and yeah, we had 50 minutes of repairs. Yeah, wasn't a good feeling, but I tell you what, when that sort of thing happens, you got to get back on the horse, give it another home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I find with those team races is where some races you have a big crash like that and big time spent in the pits, you might pull out. When it's a team race, you feel like we've put all this effort into being here. I've already let the team down by crashing. I don't want to let them down by pulling the pin completely. We need to just push on and see what we can do. And it is amazing quite often sometimes the number of spots you can pick up just by persevering and picking up spots as other teams do eventually pull the pin.
Yeah, it depends how early on in the race. Like, there's always that temptation. Oh, we'll start the next one, eh? Yeah, but yeah, right. That's one that we always do, Daytona, the 24-hour. All of them we always try to get amongst them. I haven't done one for a few years. It might be time to maybe give it a crack. Back to the race. Ooh, Dylan Petch.
Yeah, that was getting super tight there as Dylan on the comeback trail, and he's locked up the rears big time, hard into the tyres.
He's not going anywhere this time.
Nope, absolutely not. And Nico Cordia looking to make the comeback as well. He's still on the lead lap, but 3/4 of a minute behind Jack Hintz at the moment. So a lot of ground to make up, but in saying that, Jack still needs to make a stop as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. And
Yeah,
I
you're
am,
gonna leave it late.
yeah, I am still very keenly keeping an eye on Jack's name to see if it goes grey on my timing, indicating that he'd be in the pits, and then that would be my cue to jump on his wing end plate camera and have a listen to that bump start.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the stream back to get that feeling. It looks like Dylan Petch, he's towed to the pits and may have decided to park it. Leaves us with 3 GTPs.
Yeah, that feels very familiar, doesn't it?
Dan Turner is currently leading the GT3 class. Something
Yeah.
happened to Nico Scholes.
Yeah, so he's sitting back in 4th in class. Looks like he might have just made a pit stop. I don't think he pitted under safety car, and he's just recently
There we go.
been in.
Your man is in the
Oh, here
lane.
we go, here we go. I think we just listen to this. Obviously we do have to wait for him to make the stop, so he goes up on the jacks, so doing some tyres while he's getting that fuel.
Jack on the jacks.
He sure is. Oh, listen to that. That is beautiful. That's a feature that I think when the GTP cars first started coming into iRacing, that some people were a little bit disappointed wasn't present, because it is a very, very cool, or very much loved feature from the fans that watch IMSA and WEC with this class of cars racing in real life in those categories. A lot of people love that feature, and particularly on that Cadillac, where it does sound very nice as that big V8 kicks in. Um, so I think, yeah, very well received the fact that iRacing have now added that, and with Jack having made that stop, Nico has been able to emerge ahead. So despite the big shunt there, still managing to hold on to P2 at the moment. But I don't think that's going to be enough to jump ahead of Jack in the points. Margin there going into tonight was, well, Jack's on 444, Nico's on 378, sorry, so nearly 50 point margin there, or nearly 60 point margin, sorry. And Stefan McCartan on 420, so I think even with Stefan not being here tonight, I think he is going to be safe on that one. But it's potentially going, well, it is going to be GT3 where we're going to see a late change in the order, with Darren not taking the start tonight, and as long as Leith Swinney can finish the race in a reasonable position, he should be able to grab enough points to close up that 8 point margin that he's got Darren ahead of him, and pass him and take the title.
Yeah, no Balaki here either tonight, so he's pretty safe. He's got just under 100 point gap there to Thomas McCall, so I'm not sure Thomas will be able to make up that much. Currently in second though, so he's giving it his best punt.
Well, despite the safety car, we've been left with a rather spread out pack.
We have. There's not much racing close together at all, is there? At all. Full stop. Period.
15.
1.8 seconds, the closest two cars on track.
Yeah, and that's David Yo just behind this guy, Tom McCall, and you can see he's not even, or he's just in the shot now, so certainly no threat of an immediate pass, but I guess close enough that if Tom were to make a mistake, oh my god!
Oh,
Apparently
twice
I
this season.
just, apparently I just say things and they happen, you know, like.
It's getting too regular, Shayna. You didn't even finish. That's twice this season. Halfway through a sentence, the car's just gone, nah. See you later. Oh, that's gold. Poor Tom, though. Get back out there. Carry on. Salvage a third in class still.
Yeah, so he's recovered from that incident. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave it there because if I try and finish the sentence, he's just gonna have another one.
Yeah, so Paul Blomqvist down the lane, and so that's his second stop. So maybe he didn't get enough fuel the first time.
Yeah, maybe they weren't quite in that window. Maybe it was a bit more of a stroke of genius from Jack than I thought. Although Jack's dropped behind Nico again, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But we'll see where Paul comes out. He's off the jacks and still sitting in the lane. So is he still doing fuel or is he serving a penalty? Surely he couldn't have been that short on fuel when he's already been in. Maybe it's a penalty.
Yeah, black flag.
So he must have got caught speeding into the pits. He sets off now. Oh, interestingly, maybe he used up his battery a bit too much sitting there because the combustion engines kicked in very early on that one. But that's dropped him behind Jack and Nico anyway. But yeah, something's happened to Jack there because he is.
Yeah, 36 seconds behind Nico now, Jack.
No, sorry, he did come out behind Nico, didn't he? He did,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, don't listen to
9
me, I'm going
seconds.
mad. I'm losing my mind. It's the end of the season, it's the silly season. I'm going a bit silly here.
Yeah, well, you're still jacked up on maple syrup from Tuesday night.
Yeah, we haven't travelled too far. Still on the same continent. I guess it is a fair distance from Canada to Florida, but still on the same continent.
Yeah, hell of a country to go across. We survived. We've survived season 4, 2024. Almost.
Almost. Another 11 minutes remaining in the season.
Oh, then we can sign it off. Next week's a bit of fun with Mad Week. Look out for something on Tuesday, which none of us have really done any thinking about, and I've been trying to sort out Tuesday for our Gen 3 Super Soapbox. But of course, you can check out the SuperCars NZ community Facebook page and see how you can get involved in that. 1% of fuel we've worked it out to be now, so that's the lowest I can give you. Somebody was gloating to me that they had 4.8 litres left when they got down the bottom, so I said, well, you don't need that much fuel, do you? 5 litres is gone.
Absolutely. Yeah, all you really need is enough to get you over that little hump at the start, and then you're all good, as long as you don't crash.
Yeah, momentum is key. Save any fuel you've got, maybe to get yourself out of a hairy situation.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, I have I have had a couple of cracks at trying to get down, um, going full attack, using all the fuel, and yeah, it's actually a little bit easier to just coast because you're not quite getting up as much speed.
Yeah, setup probably helps. So of course, it'll be open setup. There'll just be a limit on fuel. So be interesting. I want to see some paint jobs, something cool. Like maybe someone could raise the rear right up and lower the front, make it look like a donk.
I did notice that they've put the droop restriction as an option in the setup, so we might be able to see some rear wheels lifting off the ground as the cars go around the corners if people get that set right.
Oh, three-wheeling, yeah, we could give a point for that.
Absolutely.
Paul Bloomquist back in the lane again. He's had a crash. I see that in the data.
Oh yeah, he's missing his rear wing, and he's actually towed. So this should tell us the story there. Oh, that rear locking and bang.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times this evening. It even catches out seasoned race car drivers.
Sure does. Oh, what, I'm clicking the wrong buttons everywhere. What am I doing? This is what I want. There we go. So I think Paul's pulled the pin.
Thomas McCall putting the pressure on Nico, is it?
Yeah, it is. They're going to go side by side through the tri-oval. Seeing those shadows start to pop up as the lights start to take over as well with that sun going down.
And there's Leaf Swinney in the background of that shot too, so there's three cars fairly close on track. Then there's a 40-odd second gap between Dan.
Yeah, that's very cool, and looks like we've got a nice wee battle spicing up for 2, 3 and 4 in GT3 class here, so this is going to be a good one to keep an eye on through to the end of the race.
The gap at the front for GTP down to 10 seconds now, so it was hovering around that 12 seconds a wee while ago, but that last time by Nico Cordia just a little bit faster than Jack Hint.
So Nico Scholes has actually been able to pull quite a gap on Tom McCall on this lap, so I'm wondering if we had actually just recently missed the pass there. In fact, it looks like... So I've got data here on Tom passing Nico. So I think Nico might have had a little bit of a moment. Oh, he's had such a moment I can't even...
Back to the Future moment, hit 88 miles an hour. And
so he has disappeared there, and... Yeah, that's an interesting one. We do have him back now, but he disappeared for quite some time there, so not sure what happened there.
into the nether region. No, maybe not there. Sorry, folks.
So Leith Swinney 2 seconds back from Tom McCall at the moment. Last lap pace, Leith did a 46.7, Tom did a 46.8, so 10th of a second difference there with a couple of seconds margin, and getting down towards the end of this race, I think Tom should have him covered at that pace difference, but we will keep an eye on it.
Yeah, well, we're under 10 to go now.
Well, we're under 5 minutes to go now.
Yeah, I can't really see it on your screen, and then I looked at mine and seen that it was 45. Well, that's not long. What, we're doing minute 40, well, minute 30s for these GTPs, so probably going to get 3 more laps.
Yeah, I would say about that.
Yeah, then I can go to bed. Because I've been busy today getting some Gen 3 paint started. And my eyes went square this afternoon. I had to give it a rest.
Yeah, that's very mentally draining work when you're painting, staring at your computer screen all day.
Yep. It's look to the left, look back to the right, change something, click this, click that, look back to the left. Good for the neck.
Control Alt S car underscore.
Oh, and I've set up hotkeys for that. Just press S on the keyboard and that sends it as a TTA file into the folder that I direct it to go to.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
Yeah, cool little features that you get with Photoshop that you don't know about until you dive into hours of, and here comes the race leader into the lane. He has around about a 40-second lead. So let's see what happens here. Is he going to get a splash of fuel to get home?
So that safety car might have been awkwardly timed because we saw Paul come in for a second stop and Dan's just come in for that splash. Looks like he might be covered. He's on his way back out, although still under limiter for a long way through this pit exit. Finally get off the limiter at those green cones, getting underway, and he does still have a bit of a margin back to Daniel Scholes, who is just coming into turn one now. So he had that margin, he was okay, but yeah, very interesting to see a few cars not quite able to get home from that safety car. So it was quite an interestingly timed yellow flag in that respect.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Absolutely.
He's not even out there racing anymore. In fact, it looks like he nearly did a full 1 lap.
Yeah, I don't think we caught what happened to Steve there either.
Well, it's winding down now as we Nico's just halfway through lap number 29.
Yeah, so he'll get this one done. A minute and a half, or just gone under a minute and a half remaining. So I think once he comes across the line, that will be the white flag for him. I don't think he'll get another one in after the next one.
Good
Yes,
crowd. Good crowd in for Daytona.
yeah, they love us in Florida.
Yeah. Well, they're a little bit better than alligators.
Absolutely.
There we go. White flag out for Nico. Yeah? Nico? Oh, we've got a Nico and a Nico, and they're right there together on screen.
They sure are. It gets confusing, doesn't it? But Nico on the final lap and making his way around.
I would say Nico's going to get to Daniel too, so I was just thinking it'd be suck for Daniel to get first in class, like Darren last week having to do a full lap after everybody else had finished.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, wasn't it?
And that flag man is waving that flag hard.
At least he's not waving something else hard.
The concrete? Plenty of that around here. Meticulously banked. Through the bus stop for the last time for Nico. Wind it up.
Yeah, so coming through the banking now, and it's going to be, I think he's just about to get Daniel now. Is he going to get there, or is Dan going to have to do another lap? I'd back off if I was Dan, but he hasn't. And he's going to have to do that extra lap. Nico Cordia takes it out. P1 for GTP. Jack Hintz is going to come across the line to claim P2. And in the end of the night, where we were excited to see a few more GTPs in than what we used to, we've only seen 2 of them finish. Nico Scholes has come home P2 for GT3, and Leith Swinney rounding out the podium there. And Dan Turner's still got 2/3 of a lap to officially make himself the winner of GT3, but nobody can pass him, so he's got it in the bag, he just has to get to the line. A few donuts already going on in between turn 1 and the corner we rejoin the oval there.
Yeah, that time of the evening, the lights are on now for the cars too. We just finished in the nick of time, but of course under lights, everything looks pretty cool around here. Through the bus stop, last car on track, but first car in the class. 2 weeks in a row that's happened. That's crazy. Wouldn't read about it.
Yeah, can't write these things, can't make it up, and Dan Turner is going to be the last car across the line, but he is going to be the winner of the GT3 class, as he flashes the lights coming across the line to claim that one. So well done, Dan, and well done to everybody on a successful season.
That's why he normally does a good skid. Here we go.
Yeah, flick the traction control off and light it up. Giving those fans what they want.
It'll be interesting to see how these boys go with the new supercar, Shano. Obviously, some of the new features probably suit them on hand controls too, so be looking for Kristen Jenkins and Dan Turner and Div 2 next season. Hopefully we'll see them boys back.
Absolutely lining it up in the Porsche. That's what we love to see. You don't need that engine anymore, don't need those tyres anymore. He's going to be jumping in a, well, I assume he's going to be jumping in a GTE next season. We'll wait and see, but that's what we're going to be running on Thursday nights, so you don't need the GT3 anymore. Finish it off.
Yeah, rip it a new one.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, iRacing, for your service too. We have to make a mention of that. We love that, and thanks for giving us Gen 3, and thanks for giving us Gen 2 and HPR. It was good for a couple of seasons, or maybe one.
Yeah, we had a couple of seasons with good turnout for GTP, but I think, yeah, this season just getting a little bit old for some of those people, and they decided they'd rather do some GT3s, and yeah, everybody will be doing GTE next season, so very much looking forward to that, and we can have a chat to our race winner, Nico Cordia. Well done.
Oh, thank you very much, Shane. Corey, how's it? Yeah, that was interesting. Managing 17 minutes on 1X wasn't easy.
That's impressive. Well done.
Yeah, I had to really make sure that, especially on the bus stop, that I do not go over the orange curb. If I go over it, I'm gonna get an X.
So how were you on fuel? Because we saw you pit under the safety car. We saw Jack didn't pit and pitted later, which gave you the spot. But we also saw pull come in for a splash, which then triggered a knock-on effect where he got a penalty and then had an incident after that which put him out of the race. So,
Yeah.
how were you on fuel?
I was after the first stop, because I was managing some damage from the start. After turn 4, we had some contact and I had a bit of damage, so I was running a bit left hand down. I then pitted, and when I came out of the pits, it said I'm 6.5 liters short, which was basically 2 laps. And then the incident happened when I think I was passing Paul. We were battling through the chicane after turn 1, and I just slipped the curb and it spun me into the wall. So I had a bit more damage, so I had to pit again, and then luckily I was able to fuel to the end. And then on the second last lap, it said I was 0.5 liters short on fuel, so I just
Oof.
started to coast a little bit more. Um, I also went down more on the battery, so just trying to utilize the battery power. Um, Felt really good tonight in the car. Not gonna lie, I really did feel very good in the car tonight. Daytona is one of my favorite tracks, and just didn't manage what I could have gotten out of the car, because I was managing X's. I would have loved to have pushed a bit harder and chased down Dylan a bit faster, until he unfortunately had his incident.
Yeah, he had a massive one there, so that was
Yeah,
unfortunate for him, but worked out well for you, claiming
it
P1.
it it did. Yeah, I'm super stoked. It was a we missed Stefan in the GDP tonight, and the one that you really wanted on track. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I was I'm
he had an opportunity to jump Jack in the standings as well if he had had a good race. So
yeah.
that wrapped it up for Jack on that one. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So Jack takes the championship, I think.
yeah, looks to be that way.
Yeah.
He was leading going in, but Stefan was close after he
Mm,
missed a couple of races, and then you were about another 50 points or 42 points back from Stefan.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
it's been a tough one, but yeah, I'm super stoked for the next season.
yeah, absolutely. So we move to GTEs next season. So the GTPs are done. GT3's taking a break for now. You looking forward to that?
I'm really looking forward to that. I've already started prepping the GDE Porsche. Obviously being a Porsche man, I'm getting back into behind the wheel of the Porsche, and yeah, got our new team that I've joined for 2025. They've already made these lovely designs for Gamma Flare Sim Racing. So I'm really looking forward to representing the team out on track in the Porsche GDE.
Very nice. And anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Definitely the boys over at Gamma Flare for taking this venture with me into 2025. Really appreciate them pulling me in. Gonna miss the guys over at ANZCRL, but we'll always be mates, and I look forward to battling them on track in the next season.
Awesome stuff. And we're looking forward to seeing you out there in a GTE next season.
Yeah, thank you very much, Corey, Shane. As always, thank you very much for streaming this for us, and looking forward to watching it back.
Cheers, Nick.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
And coming home P2, but taking out the championship, Jack Hintz. Well done.
So repeat that.
You took out the championship. You had a lead, a slender lead over Stefan coming into tonight because he had missed a couple of races, and then he didn't show up tonight. So you've done it. You're champion.
Well, that's news to me. I haven't seen any results all season, so I've had no idea. But I guess slow and steady does win it. I guess. No, that's a really good send off for that car. So I'm very happy with that.
So how was your race tonight? We saw you take a slightly alternate strategy compared to Nico, where you pitted after the safety car, choosing not to pit under safety car. Looked like some of the guys were a bit tight on fuel, so do you think that was the right call to make the later stop?
Yeah, well, that was the plan all along, really. I wanted to put around the 20-minute mark just to put a fresh set on and just go for it, see how quick I could go, because I know at the start of the race we had a few issues, people spinning, and then I lost time there, and everyone just took off up the road. So I just kind of did my own race and just took it easy, but still trying to put on the pressure where I could.
Yeah, fair call. It was good to see a slightly better turnout for the GTPs tonight, but ultimately a number of those guys are running into issues, and only you and Nico took the checkered flag in the end.
Yeah, well, I've been driving it for a fair bit, and I love these cars. You know, a lot of it's because they don't have ABS, so it's just a real fine line where the where it starts to lock up and doesn't. So that can cause a lot of issues as well with these cars.
And I guess potentially that's going to be a challenge guys are going to have in the GTEs as well, with those cars not having ABS.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing though. It really shakes everyone up and just keeps everyone on their toes really.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, the guys at PSR for a good season. Next season's going to be great in the supercars. Safety First Tauranga, Stanmore Road Auto Parts, Racing Creative, Partner Leighton for all the support. But yeah, very happy with that.
Awesome stuff. Cheers, Jack, and congratulations again on taking out the title.
Thanks very much. I'm gobsmacked.
Yeah, well done, man.
Thanks very much.
Alright, so that'll do it. That's another season done and dusted, nearly another year done and dusted. We're into our summer series for 24-25 in a couple of weeks, and that kicks off on Christmas Eve with the first Gen 3 Supercars race of Supercars NZ, and then a couple of weeks later we will be into the new year. So very, very quickly this year has gone by, and 4 seasons done, and we start the cycle all over again.
That's right. Well, we don't even get to finish the year, and we have to start the cycle. But we'll get a couple of rounds in. Obviously, one on Christmas Eve and one on New Year's Eve for the V8s, and a little bit later in the week, it's only one more one GTE race this year, and then you can sail off into the sunset next year.
Yeah, so you can race some GTEs with us on Boxing Day, and then the following week, when you're nursing the hangover on New Year's Day, you can venture out in some GTE cars there as well. So get into it. We're excited to get into a new season. The racing never stops. There's going to be stuff happening during week 14, so keep an eye out on that. And if you're keen to get involved in the summer series, as the passenger jet lands at the airport behind us, that's always a cool feature of this track. But if you're keen to get amongst it in the summer series, make sure you find that registration form on Facebook, Supercars NZ community at the top under featured posts. Follow that, follow everything out, and you can get on track to join us next season. We're looking forward to it. We're done here tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Corey for joining me. Oh, and before we do go, we haven't mentioned our weekly sponsor for this week tonight, Napa Auto Parts.
Thanks, Napper. We love you.
Thanks Napa, thanks MRP, thanks iRacing, thanks Corey, thanks everybody at home. We will see you next season.
Thanks, Mum.